All right, our video on cut costs with cleaner water is overwhelming success. A lot of people talk about it, so I want to do one more video for you all. So what you probably saw was the difference between tap water and soft water, treated water, and you can see the difference when it comes to soap. What we're now going to do is we're going to turn on that water softener one more time, and what that is we have a water softener here that's taking raw water, and we're then running through a filter and then treating it. And what we're going to do is we're going to call that the treated water here. We're going to fill this guy up to about there. And we're going to do the same thing with this tap water here, up to about the same spot. Nope, a little bit more. Right about there. Now the reason why we want to do this is that what we're going to do is add a chemical to the water so that you can literally see the difference, right? We want it, what our goal is we want to talk about how we're going to precipitate out the rock in the water. So you're going to see that I'm going to take these droppers and put 1, 2, 3 dropperfuls in there. Same thing we're going to do over here. 1, 2, 3, okay? And then we're going to do the same thing here with this second coagulant. So these are designed to help pull the rock out of the water. Again, we had less than 1 grain of hard water coming through a water softener as compared to 20 grains or 25 grains of hard water. And here we go again. 1, 2, 3. And you can see we're doing the same amount. 1, 2, 3. Okay? Now, we're going to put the caps on and let these sit for a second. And I'm going to explain to you why these are so important, but I want you all to sort of keep an eye that there's no magic going on here. We're literally just not going to play any games with you. We're going to set those there. And you can already see what's happening, right? You can see that rock is binding to the chemicals, and because there's no rock in there, you're starting to see a clearer picture. Now, what I want to do is I just want to use this water droplet as an example. Because again, what happens when you don't treat your water is that it ruins all the things that it touches in your home. So it's your clothing, it's your skin, it's your hair, right? It's the socks, it's your underwear. It's going to be your laundry machine, your dishwasher, your water heater, your refrigerator water line. I've seen those things get plugged up. The plumbing throughout the whole house, your toilets, the shower, your fixtures here. In fact, if we can even get on our raw water, you can see this calcium buildup on our raw water line. We have a raw water line here and a soft water line in our building. That rock is ruining your toilet bowl. That's why we get the gray ring. As it starts to spin, the rock rolls around with the water, creating that ring. It's eroding the sheen on the toilet bowl, so it opens the porous porcelain to absorb the rock. Let's talk about the most expensive is your bathroom, right? When you look at your bathroom, you've got tile, you've got shower stall, you've got glass there that you're taking a shower in, you've got a shower faucet, you got the handle. All those things are expensive. To remodel a bathroom today, it's minimum $15,000 to $20,000, right? It's crazy. So when you are using water, the rock in the water is ruining those things. And if you can imagine, within 10 years of untreated, they look terrible. You have to remodel that bathroom. And if we can extend that out by 50%, and it costs you $20,000 to remodel it, not taking into inflation, if we can extend that by another 5 or 10 years, or another 5 years instead of 10 years, didn't we just give you 50% of that cost of that remodel, or $10,000? So that's where you start to get the money back. Not including, we can look at the dishwasher. That's $3,000 today, $2,000 today. If we can extend the life by 50%, is that not worth an extra $1,000 to get a good water treatment system? So when clients ask me, I don't want to spend a lot of money on this system, and I'm like, I know, I don't blame you, but unfortunately, what high quality products require and good longevity of a high quality product, they coincide, they work together. You have to invest a few extra bucks on a great water softener if you want it to last for several years. So whenever I meet with someone, or someone calls me or texts me or sends me a YouTube video link or request, I always go back to, how long do you plan on living in the house? If it's a year, okay, well, a big box water softener might work. And in a second, we're going to go look at those. If, however, you are looking for something that's maybe you're going to be in the house for a couple years, maybe a sticker product, that means some distributor assembled a Chinese water softener. They slapped the dealer, like Chuck in the Truck's water softener name on it, and then they sold it to them, and then they sold it to you. That's called the sticker product. And then the third category is professional grade. These are companies like Rain Soft, Kinetico, Culligan, and EcoWater. And out of all those, the one that I found to be the very best was EcoWater. Made in America, NSF 44 certified. That means that they went through independent testing, beating this thing up all the time to show that it actually will work. That guy lasts the longest. That's why we love it. That's why we love to sell it. That's why we like to represent it in most of our cases. But again, you know, we also want to make our customers happy. We're a little like Costco. I mean, our number one goal is to take care of our customers. So for Costco, it's take care of their members, right? So for us, how do we take care of you? Well, it begins with this education is number one. Number two, identify with you how long you plan on living in that home. That's a huge factor. Again, if you're flipping the house, honestly, go get yourself a cheap water softener. It will reduce water pressure in the house, but hey, you know, that might be your best alternative. Or you have to get into the mindset that, hey, listen, I'm going to invest, and then I'm going to go ahead and get a plexiglass, you know, piece, set it on the kitchen counter. I've had people do this, and they put our brochure in it, and they say, I've got the best, this house has the best water equipment. And they make the investment because they don't know how long they're going to live there. But when they go to resell it, and they compare house A to house B, and they're literally identical, house A with the water filtration equipment that's NSF certified, made in America, that they invested, I don't know, $10,000 in, it's like a granite countertop today. People love it. I mean, if you go to the Builders Association show, National Builders Association show, every year that's held in Orlando, the number one thing builders are saying that the customer is asking for is a healthy home. And what better healthy home than get that water healthy, right? So that's why I'm so passionate about making your family healthy. That's why I'm so passionate about talking about water. That's why I love what I do every single day, because I have an opportunity to not only impact you, but to impact your family, your children. And it's a lifetime. Trust me, this is a lifetime decision that you're making. Now, let's just take a look at that. Take a look at that. That's the rock. Now, granted, we're 25 grain hard water here, so that's a lot of rock. When it went through the water softener, nothing. No rock, no precipitation. So you can imagine these little vials, that's the amount of precipitated rock that's just in those vials when we're looking at 21 grain hard water. Again, I can't stress how important it is that you get your water tested. You need to understand the water quality before you buy anything. So if a company comes out, and I swear to God, when I first started working here, I would have customers tell me that I would start doing a water test because I used to own mail order pharmacies, and I'm very scientific. And I'm like, we're going to do this water test. And they're like, the last guy from the other company just rinsed his hands under the water. And he's like, yeah, your water's hard. We need a water softener. And I'm like, wow, I don't think you can do that. I go, the first step is to test it, because also testing it with knowing how hard the water is dictates how we program those water softeners. Without that knowledge, there's no way to size the system correctly. Also, the plumbing diameter of the home, that has an impact. Multiple body shower sprays, you know, in the shower, if you have like body sprays and a rainforest, that dictates the size of the water softener. How many people in the home? Gosh, if you have 5, 6, 7 people in the home and they're all turning the water at the same time, you certainly can't get away with an itty-bitty water softener now, can you? No, we need to size it based on the volume. So I always try to tell people there's 3 things that make a great water softener company. That water softener company needs to understand the chemistry, that's water testing, the physics, how big of a water softener system do I need to get for you, And then lastly is mechanics. That's how do I plumb that in? Am I a plumber? Do I understand how to connect all the plumbing pipes? And am I licensed and bonded? Two huge things, because I'm touching plumbing pipes that touches your water, and you're going to drink it. I better darn know well how to handle my plumbing pipes and my tools and all that so that I don't accidentally get you sick. Now, let's take a look at this. So again, if we're dealing with this real quick, I just want to show you a couple of the water softeners so you can get an idea. These are like big box products, right? You can get them at a big box store, but look how little they are. They're itty bitty little things. So that's why, yes, they're less money, they're cheaper, but they don't last long. And of course, when the size is small, it's going to restrict the water flow. Now, this is a great example of a sticker product, right? This is one that someone can slap a valve on, get a Chinese tank, maybe Chinese resin. The filter material, as you can see, it's the most important part of this. If you want longevity, I'm sorry, cheap resin doesn't last very long. You might get a couple years of life. You might, this is usually the OEM products or chuck in the truck type of water softeners that are built by what's called an OEM. They're not certified by NSF. They're assembled by a distributor and sold to a dealer, and then our dealerships sell it to you. You're going to have less expensive or Chinese resin, Chinese tank, and maybe an American valve or Chinese valve that goes on top. That will last you a couple more years. But if you want professional grade, that's where we get into the Eco Water products. Eco Water is manufactured in America, NSF 44 certified. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching this video, I can't stress how important NSF certification is. As I've told everybody, this is your, magic wand to understand what guy that you have out to your house or girl is telling you the truth. Like, how do you know? Do you trust me just because I point to them? I mean, I can show you that they get bigger as you get more quality, but how do I know? How do you trust Drew, the water guru, right? I mean, the only way you trust me is if I can point my finger to a certification where a nonprofit organization threw thousands and thousands and thousands of gallons of water at that and tested the water after it came out. And what we know with NSF 44 certification is, yes, the water got soft, that means the rock came off, and also it knows that we took off radium-228, radium-226, and barium. These are things that are in a huge proportion of the water supply in America. Yes, radium, it's crazy, and it's toxic, it causes cancer, right? So that's a huge factor for you to understand why a NSF certified water softener, NSF 44 certified water softener, is so critical for you. And what I love about Eco Water is owned by Warren Buffett, and so they're professional, right? They're a professional agency. They're not trying to take shortcuts, go to China, get some cheap valves, cheap tanks, and cheap resin just to lower the price. Yes, it hits a lower price. That's why all of you who write me notes and say, hey, can't I get something less expensive? Well, yeah, you can. But what I'd rather do is demonstrate to you the value proposition of going high quality. When you go high quality, it lasts longer. It's certified to take things out. I mean, believe me, we don't mind service calls because we get paid to come out to your house. But you want fewer service calls? You get yourself a certified made in America product, one that's manufactured by Warren Buffett. It is, trust me, one of the key things for you to be able to do as you move forward. So again, if you know anyone that's been dealing with dry, brittle hair, dry, itchy skin, they want to cut costs in their household. I mean, who doesn't want this? Who doesn't want healthier water? Who doesn't want to protect their appliances? Who doesn't want to be able to have clothing that lasts longer? Unless, of course, you're trying to be in style, right? Who doesn't want to be able to have their bathrooms last longer? Who doesn't want to have healthier water for their family? That's what drives us. So if you know people like that, please press like, share this video. We truly do appreciate that. Share it with your friends and family. I love to say the one phrase, which is, do you know 3 people that you love and care for that could benefit from healthy, clean water? If you do, please share this video with them, because what I hope is that it impacts their life, because I'm truly about how I can impact your life, your family's life, and your pocketbook. And I know that we can do that with that system, with a water system. And no matter where you are in the country, again, find yourself a company that's going to do a great job water testing, walk you through the examples like I've just recently done here so you can really understand the value proposition, and then take a look at some of the professional grade water softeners if you want one to last longer. My name is Drew, and I'm here to serve you. Thank you.